If you haven't seen Justice League yet, turn this fucking video off now. Still with me? Hello guys. Last night I went and saw probably my third or second most anticipated film of the year, which being Justice League. Now, I'm a big fan of DC. I love both DC and Marvel. I've read lots of comic things, and that's why I loved this film so much. Yes, I agree with a lot of the reviews. There was definitely room for improvement, and the story was a bit sloppy at part. But for what this film was, it was essentially great. Basically, to get the negatives out of the way, with Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman, we've had a CGI villain in the DC universe, and it is the same with Steppenwolf here. Now, I don't know what they could have done to make it better. Oh, they even did it with Wonder Woman as well, actually, with Ares, even though Ares looked fantastic and I loved Wonder Woman. But I feel like it wasn't needed, and that's why I will talk about this later and maybe in a separate video more explained, but the post-credit scene may fix the DC universe in some sort of way. But yeah, I didn't even really get interested in Steppenwolf too much throughout the film, in my personal opinion. Like, I love the character and his Darkseid second in command, and but it was really a negative for me. Not a big negative, but I love Jason Momoa, and do not get me wrong, he had some great moments in the film, but I felt like Aquaman didn't stand out from the rest of the characters in Justice League. He had some moments that were enjoyable on screen. He probably wasn't in the film enough, but yeah, I felt like Superman stood out more, and Superman was probably only in the film for about 15 minutes, but yeah, that's probably the negatives out of the way. Also, I didn't like how they rushed into the main story too quickly, especially how Steppenwolf grabbed two mother boxes so easy. He grabbed one. We got like a little scene, I think, where it was like Cyborg's origin, I think, in between him going to Atlantis and getting the second one. But it was cool to see Mera and stuff. So let's get on to the good, which there is a lot of. Now, as you know, I watched the Flash TV show, so I was very skeptical of how Ezra Miller would portray the role of Flash, and he was great. He really was one of the best things about this film. Ben Affleck as Batman was brilliant. I loved him in Batman vs Superman, so I never had to like have more love for him, because I already did love Ben Affleck's role in Batman vs Superman. Wonder Woman, brilliant. And Cyborg I was very skeptical of. I had seen some of the trailers, but Cyborg, they didn't reveal much, I felt like. As much CGI, it's not a negative, as much CGI that was used in his suit, the actual personality and acting of Ray Fisher, I'm pretty sure that's his name, was brilliant. I liked Cyborg in this, and they really did a good job. The only thing is, how are they going to make this origin movie that's rumoured to come out in 2019, 2020? They only had they had a short origin, and I don't feel like that is needed to be a full movie. But for the actual Justice League itself, for what it was, and creating these characters coming together, basically a fanboy like me's dream, Justice League was essentially great. And how it can fix itself is by not using too much CGI with its villains and things, and having, I guess, better villains. And that's why I think they went with this post-credit scene. So if you just want to know spoilers and you're watching this, in the post-credit scene, Deathstroke, they are in jail, and Lex Luthor, I'm pretty sure that was Victor Zsasz, but I'm not too sure. I think that was Victor Zsasz, but someone's faking to be Lex Luthor while they're calling him, and then we see Deathstroke pull up on a boat, like a houseboat, walks in, and it's Joe Manganiello, I can't remember how to say his name, and Lex is sitting on a couch, and he basically says that now that the Justice League is formed, we need to form a league of our own. And this sets up Injustice League, which is such a great thing. Like, there is honestly so many characters that have already been introduced, such as like Harley Quinn, the Joker, has Poison Ivy, and I know they're doing like Gotham City Sirens, so that sets up that. But this is really cool, and that's why I think they've gone down this path rather than doing Darkseid. as cool as it would be to do Darkseid, I can see them stuffing that around, and that's why I was so blown away by this post-credit scene. You can even ask my friend that I went with. I was freaking screaming at the screen. And the first post-credit scene is straight out of the comics. It's a Flash and Superman race, which was awesome to see. And there's a reference to a joke about brunch that was earlier in the film. But yeah, lots of Easter eggs in this film. Barry getting a job at Star Labs sets up so much. Reverse Flash confirmed with Henry Allen, and the murder of the mother story, murder of Nora. Green Lantern, very, very, very short cameo, but there were 2 Green Lanterns, I'm pretty sure, in a fight sequence that, might I add, was brilliant between Atlanteans, Amazons, and against Parademons and Steppenwolf. But this film actually was a lot better than, I don't know, I could say that I was expecting, but I had really high hopes for this film, and I'm hating how much hate it's getting from critics. I'm about to tell you guys my rating, and that's not low. For a film like this that I enjoyed so much, it's not a low rating, and this is what I think it deserved, because Justice League did have some flaws, but it was great. So if you've seen Justice League, please let me know in the comments, but I'm going to give Justice League personally a 7.5. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 7.5 because it did have some problems, but I did enjoy this film and it had great action. And if you haven't seen it and you're just watching this for spoilers, which it's fine, definitely go and see it. Honestly, it's definitely worth the money, and I think they did a great job with this film, especially that post-credit scene was just brilliant. It set up so much, and there's probably lots I'm missing, so I'm probably going to do a post-credit scene and an Easter egg video for this. I'm sorry I haven't done a Thor Ragnarok review. I did like a spoiler-free one. I completely forgot to make that video, but this one is one needed. It just sets up so much, whereas I guess it does set up Infinity War with the post-credit scene of Thor, and there was a lot that happened in Thor, but for me personally, I loved this film. So thanks for watching, guys.